This is GRTS News. We are live in Banjul, broadcasting for viewers in the Gambia and around the world. Our headlines this hour: nominations for the April 9th
and Parliament
legislative
Sao,
vote
an independent
continues
candidate,
in all regions
are
across
all
the Gambia, with more independent candidates joining the race for the National Assembly elections. Preparing youth for the job market. The Gambia Talent Promotion Television GTTV graduates its first trained cohort of media students. In sports, the National School Athletics Championship kicks off at the Independence Stadium with schools from across the country competing in different tracks and field events. On the international scene, united on Ukraine, European Union leaders back Kiev but refuse Ukraine's appeal for fast-track membership to the EU bloc. And the World Health Organization advises Ukraine to destroy high-threat pathogens stored in the country's public health laboratories. Well, those are the headlines and much more coming ahead. With me, Marianne Jai Ajayi, and do stay with us. Well, it's great to have you here. We begin with legislative elections and ongoing nominations happening across the country. On Saturday, 3 aspiring National Assembly candidates reappeared at the Kanifing IEC Regional Bureau to finally submit their nomination papers. Momodu Jain of the GDC, running for the Serakunda West seat, UDP's Buba Jadama, and independent aspirant Parliament Sawa, who is vying for the Joshuang seat, earlier failed to meet requirements for submission and were given the opportunity to correct missing documents. The trio successfully met the returning officer, Joseph Colley, and are now waiting for their acceptance letters. Usman Mane reports.
The returning officer at the IEC regional office in Kanifing, Joseph Colley, today received 3 aspirants who filed in their nomination papers. Momodu Jain of the GDC for Serakunda West, Buba Jadama of the United Democratic Party for Joshuang, and Parliament Saho, an independent candidate, are all vying for the seat of National Assembly member for these respective areas. They are all optimistic of victory and ready to serve their people when voted in office come April 9.
My move to take part in the parliamentary election is to contribute my quota in national development, and I know I can be able to deliver as a National Assembly member for Serakunda West. I have been into politics since 2017. I also contested in 2017, and I engage the community. Since then, I have been working with a lot of people.
I have a lot of plans for the people of Joshuang. As you know, Joshuang, particularly Ibo Town and New Joshuang, is a water area, which is our problem. So working with the VDC, the councillor, we want to improve that area, at least so that we can minimize flood. Basically, being a youth and staying within Joshuang, it's my obligations at least to change the life of my people.
They saw what I have been doing for the past years. That's why they have the courage to stand behind me firmly, to see that I push and get this seat to help them. Because I'm helping them, I'm helping myself. Because as they say that charity begins at home. So they know that I have the criteria, I have the qualification, and I have the contacts, and I have the analytics to bring things what they want.
Following their successful submission of their nomination papers, the IEC regional returning officer in Kanifing today issued the acceptance letters to aspirants, now confirmed candidates, Asanture of Bakau, Bakarinjai of Bundung, Madi Sise of Serakunda, Musa Baji of Talending, all United Democratic Party candidates, as well as Bakari Kesise of PDOIS, and Ibrahim Sonko, an independent candidate, vying for the Talending seats.
Yeah. Yes. After the submission of your papers for nomination, we perused through, and then we found out that they were in order. and then there was no objection. And then we also checked through your supporters, so you have more than the 300 required. So therefore, as the returning officer for these elections in Kanifing administrative area, I'm giving you acceptance of nomination to confirm your candidature to contest in the forthcoming elections.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Barely 24 hours before the close of nominations for the April 9, 2022 National Assembly elections, nomination continues tomorrow at the IEC regional office in Kanifing. Usman Mane, GRTS.
Now, election officials were at the IEC regional office in Brikama, West Coast region to receive legislative aspirants for nominations, but the Bureau witnessed a quiet day with no contender returning up for nomination at the regional electoral office. On Saturday, Alhaji Mbai spoke with the IEC officials.
It was a quiet day at the regional electoral office in Brikama, West Coast region, as no candidate turned up to file in nomination papers. According to the regional electoral officer for Bajani, 2 independent candidates were expected to file in their nomination papers, but none of them turned up.
From the 5th to the 11th, that is from Saturday towards Friday, we set purely for nominations. And Saturday and Sunday, that is 12-13, supposed to be the day for corrections. Those who had some issues with their forms can come back and do the corrections. But as we are nominating, concurrently we are doing the corrections. Only 2 candidates are supposed to come today, because we have some who collected nomination forms yesterday. So we are expecting them today. Unfortunately, up till now, we didn't hear from them. And we make some follow-up calls as to check on their whereabouts, but only to realize that I don't think they'll be coming again.
Mr. Jane disclosed that the entire nomination process has been smooth so far, besides the situation faced when the UDP candidate for Busumbala constituency was rejected.
Everything went down well, unless the unfortunate event or issue that was taking place the day before yesterday, that was on Thursday with the UDP candidate. Other than that, everything went down well. The nominating team did their work very well, and the security did their work very well. All the stakeholders, as far as nomination is concerned, everything went down well.
He explained that candidates who are required to make some corrections and verifications on their papers have up to the end of nominations on Sunday to complete their bid.
And for tomorrow, we are expecting, we are not expecting any tomorrow. But I know there could be some people who might be coming for, because we have some pending corrections that are to be made. Few candidates are supposed to come and do their corrections. Some are coming today, some might be coming tomorrow. Yeah, but actually, as far as nomination is concerned, everything is going to sit down tomorrow. It's going to be the last day for all the correction and nomination itself.
Candidates contesting in the West Coast region are also expected to report to the IEC regional office in Brikama on Monday for the reconciliation of their campaign itineraries to prevent conflict during the campaign period. Alhaji Mbai, GRTS News.
Now, nominations are also taking place in the Central River, where the United Democratic Party and PDOIS filed several candidates for constituencies in the region. Our regional correspondent, Mamadou Lamin Sane, is covering nominations there.
The legislative election takes shape as nominations continue around the Gambia. PDOIS is the latest party to file candidates for the upcoming National Assembly election. The Socialist Party nominated 3 candidates in the Central River region. Alhaji Mamadi Kurang, Kemeseng Sane, and Mustafa Cham are vying for the Nyamina East, West and Lower Salum respectively.
This country deserves change. That change is needed, and we are motivated by the desire to bring about change in the country. That's why we are in it.
So much needs to be done when it comes to socio-economic development of this country, and we have so much concern in seeing the Gambia to be lifted to a level that is better than where it is today.
I think there is no better candidate in Nyamina West who understands the issues of parliamentarian more than me. For 10 good years, I've been attached to the parliament. So I will not go to the parliament to be a learner, but I'll be going there to start from where the other parliamentarians stop.
The United Democratic Party was next in line for nomination after People Progressive Party failed to put up candidates in the Central River region. The UDP party, accompanied by party supporters, filed in candidates for all the 11 constituencies in Gambia's Central River region. Isa Sedikan, Basiru Sise, and Alhaji Madi Sise filed in bids for the Nyamina East, West, and Dankunku. They were followed by Numukunda Kani, Alfuseni Sise, and Karamo Fati, representing UDP in Upper Fuladu West, Sami and Lower Fuladu West, respectively.
As we know, National Assembly election is not about political parties. It's about an individual. It doesn't matter which party he belongs to. The constituency people should look at the individual, whether he is capable to lead in that particular constituency or not.
The reason that motivated me to come for the second time is for the simple fact that I have gathered enough experience. So I believe if I go back to the assembly, I will be able to represent my people fully.
A busy day at the IEC regional office also featured the nomination of Jarai Fayinke for Janjambure. Modu Cham and Halimadu Sadia Sow also filed application for Nyanija and Lower Salum constituencies.
Me being part of the United Democratic Party and looking at the policies and programs of United Democratic Party, being trusted to the ideologies of the party, I believe that women can do it if we are given the chance.
The youths of Nyanija need a better representation because we have been sending and representing people in the parliament, but we don't have the right guy who will work with the youths and also make emphasis and development for the people of Nyanija in the side of the youths.
I am one of the most qualified women in the Gambia to represent the people of Lower Salum constituency, which I am ready to do.
Upper Salum's Momodu KF Sise, while Alhaji SB Silla was nominated for Nyani constituency. Activities wrapping up saw credentials of all aspirants that came on day 6 accepted for candidature in the forthcoming National Assembly elections. Modu Lamin Sane reporting for GRTS News from the Central River region.
Now we're staying with National Assembly elections, day 7 of nominations in the Upper River region, where IEC saw officials receiving the applications of 5 independent and 2 GDC candidates vying to contest in the upcoming polls scheduled for 9th April. Seydou Camara is in the Upper River region.
5 independent candidates contesting for the National Assembly election arrived at the IEC bureau in Basse Mansajan with their supporters to submit their credentials for the upcoming National Assembly election scheduled for 9 April 2022. Effecting strong inclusive change is important for these vibrant young people contesting parliamentary election for the first time. The collective desire here is to impact positive transformation and robust representation for their constituents at the National Assembly. Credentials submitted include voter's card, citizenship certificate, asset declaration, income tax, campaign code of conduct, as well as party symbol and colors. After submitting their application, a receipt of confirmation was given to them by the IEC Regional Commissioner of the Upper River region.
So far, you've met the requirements, but nomination is 2 stages. First, you present your documents and we go through them to see if they are all in order, which is now completed. Now, the next stage is the verification team, and also if there are people outside there who wanted to come and observe your documents or wanted to object to your candidature, then we will notify you. But if there's nothing like that, we'll call you latest in the afternoon or in the evening to inform you that your nomination is accepted, and we ask you to come for your acceptance letter.
We want a parliamentarian who will stay with the people, because if you don't stay with the people, you will not know the people's problems. If you don't know their problems, you cannot represent them anywhere. So this is a very important thing that people have to understand.
Look at Jimara today. You have the biggest political parties there. The president is from that end. The opposition, Mama Kande, is from there. So there is that fraction within Jimara. So me as a young person, as an independent candidate who will represent everybody, not party influence, but the interest of Jimara.
Dawda Nene Galle Jallo and Yusuf P. Balle, both vying for Basse constituency, Sekou Drame, the Sando constituency, and Haji Bajaga, going for the Kantora seat alongside Jiman aspirant Mamad Salou Jallo, all expressed confidence in winning their respective constituencies. The young open-minded youth said with their representation at the parliament, the needs and aspirations of their people will be heard and solutions will be delivered.
Being an independent ticket does not mean that you are against the government, does not mean that you are against a particular party, but it means that you believe that you can make a difference.
I feel like Sanduk has been misrepresented for a long period of time. We've had a lot of MPs in the past, but the difficulties that the people face every day has not been eradicated.
Kantora have never been represented properly in the National Assembly. So, so what we need right now is to properly represent the people and engage people. And then the second question is to bring people together. Because in Kantora we have tribes. But how do we come together? Is by empowering the organizations, like youth organizations, women organizations, and in fact even the Islamic organizations also. That will bring people together.
GDC nominee Suleiman Sise, vying for the Kantora constituency, and Basa aspirant Keba J. Balde also submitted nomination documents to IEC officials and were successfully granted a confirmation of nomination.
Kantora is left far behind, especially in education, agriculture, and health. Some of our people travel up to Senegal for medication. And I believe if I am elected, I will do my best for those sectors, inshallah.
The step that we are going to do, Anti-Corruption Commission in this country. Because we have been seeing how things are managed in this country. Everybody is independent of his or her own, doing whatever you want. That's a bad system of governance.
2 PDOIS aspirants and 4 UDP candidates were also given acceptance letters to contest in the upcoming National Assembly election after their documents went through public scrutiny. All candidates were advised to engage supporters and abide by the IEC Code of Conduct to ensure peaceful messages are shared during the campaign period. Officials said any legislative hopeful involved in the violation of the Election Code of Ethics could face the cancellation of their candidature. Seydou Camara, reporting for GRTS News from Basse Upper River Region.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has completed nominations in the capital city Banjul. IEC officials finished the verification of documents for 3 candidates who submitted nomination papers on Friday. Independent candidate Fatimata Njai of Banjul South and Abdullah Njai, another independent vying for Banjul Central, and PPP candidate Banjul Central aspirant Mohamed Ndao respectively received their acceptance letters on Saturday. The trio met all legal requirements in accordance with the Elections Act. Now let's return to the Upper River region, where the United Democratic Party and PDOIS filed candidates earlier on Thursday. Our regional correspondent in the URR, Seydou Camara, brings us up to date.
The candidates running under the PDOIS ticket opened the day's activities at the IEC Bureau in Basse Mansajam, where they arrived with supporters to submit their credentials to contest the National Assembly election scheduled for 9 April 2022. Honorable Sida S. Jata and Honorable Suaibu Toure, who are both seeking a second term in the Woolly West and Woolly East constituency, first IEC official to present their documents for nomination. PDOIS candidate Ansu T.S. Sonko was however rejected for failing to provide less than 300 endorsements. He was asked to bring the remaining signatures before the close of nomination this Sunday, March 13. Some of the documents they submitted include a voter's card, citizenship certificates, asset declaration, income tax, campaign code of conduct, as well as a party symbol and column, alongside other relevant papers. After submitting their application, a receipt of confirmation was given to them by the IEC Regional Commissioner.
You know, people in this country don't even understand the essence of a National Assembly. That's the problem. Because they think that you are elected this after 5 you should go. If you go and then you are just square one. The institution is not developing, it is stagnant. Because those who should continue for it to be developed are no longer there. The institutional memory is always killed after every 5 years. And that is not how institutions like a parliament operates.
To help the other members
to have that understanding so that they'll be able to join us, knowing that this is our country. And we must come up with a constitution that will address our economic, social, political, and other issues. And unless we have that, the constitution we have now is a very bad constitution. It has been amended over time. Many, many amendments were done there, and those amendments are not in the interest of the Gambian people.
6 candidates under the United Democratic Party also faced IEC officials to submit nomination documents for the upcoming National Assembly elections. After successfully submitting their application, Tida Kijera, Haji Suare, Fode Drame, and Mohamed Maharena were all given a confirmation receipt by the IEC Regional Commissioner Lamin Cham.
It is very necessary for us to come in front of the decision-making points. We should not be left behind. As we form the majority, we should be given chance to also lead and do our best in the development.
The Constitution giving us the power, because we know today the power that belongs to the president is more. I mean, the president is even more powerful than the National Assembly members. But if there is a balance of power, I know we'll be able to do a lot for this country.
So I believe, as a National Assembly member, if elected, I will fight and promote agriculture and farming, and the government must be pushed and must be pushed and then stretched to ensure that they empower farmers by giving or allocating 10% of the annual national budget to those farmers, because those are the people who are paying the tax to those government officials.
Agenda is to see better Gambia. That is my agenda. But you know, again, the constitution that we have could have been better if you have the new constitution that was thrown out, because it gives power to the legislature to bring private member bills. But as of now, you cannot bring any private member bill if you cannot sponsor it. And you cannot take money from the consolidated revenue to sponsor your private member bill.
2 of the UDP candidates were rejected. Wool East aspirant Fatmata Juara bid fell due on Section 90 of the Constitution, subsection F, while for the party of Kantora rejection based on his failure to provide a leave letter as a legal requirement. He was asked to bring it before the closure of nominations. Speaking to journalists, for the party blamed IEC officials for rejecting him, as such a requirement shouldn't be an obstacle for parliamentary nomination.
In the event I didn't make it, I will believe that IEC denied me my right. This is not a sufficient condition to deny a candidate.
All the 7 candidates of the NPP were also given an acceptance letters to contest for the upcoming National Assembly election after their documents went through public scrutiny. All the candidates were advised to engage supporters and abide by the IEC Code of Conduct to ensure peaceful messages are shared during the campaign period. Officials say any candidate who violates the election code of ethics could face the cancellation of their candidature. Seydou Kamara, reporting for Jata News from Basse Upper River Region.
Now, away from election matters, we examine efforts to engage youth in the gainful skills. The Gambia Talent Promotion Television, GTTV, has graduated its first cohort of media students trained on various digital communication skills in journalism. The graduation was graced by the First Lady, Madam Fatuba Barrow, who said young people are learning gainful skills to contribute to the Gambia's socio-economic development. Yoro Jallo has more.
This is the first batch of young people who went through different skills training at the Gambia Talent Television Promotion. The First Lady, Madam Fatuba Barrow, hailed GTTV for the initiative, noting that recently assessment revealed that many young people are interested in learning skills that would contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of the country.
I am here because I wanted to support the graduates. I want to see them to be supported. That's the reason I'm here. I'm not here because I want to. I'm here because I love to be someone that supports people. I've been supporting, and I'm pledging today that Pa Ousman, what he did, it's I need to support. I'm pledging every year now. From this year, I'll pledge to support this institution.
She advised the outgoing corps to be focused and utilizing knowledge gain and promised to continue supporting GTTV at all times. The Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Ibrahim Asila, spoke on the significance of skills acquisition and advised the graduates to be focused and utilize the skills gained for a sustainable livelihood.
I want to take this opportunity to thank most profoundly the Gambia Talent CEO and also the management for your relentless efforts in not only providing the training and capacity building of this group of young aspiring journalists and other careerists in the industry, but also your efforts in contributing greatly in shaping their destiny. Most of these people, as I have heard from Fat Samba, came in with no hope that they were going to make it to this day. But thank God we are here and graduate or are about to be certificated, and they are going into the next world of the journalism with a strong background in training and a strong career that they will use from now on to benefit themselves, to build themselves and their families and their loved ones.
Minister Silla used the opportunity to assure GTTV of his ministry's collaboration and continued support. Other speakers, including the president of the Gambia Press Union, Mohamed Ba, and Mari Sok, commended GTTV for the initiative and appealed to the relevant authorities to help the graduates with the required tools and funds for them to begin their career. Fatu Samba of GTTV said her institution has been providing professional skills and knowledge to youth of the country since inception in 2006.
Over the years, we have spread our wings and grown from being only promoters of Gambian talents and culture and turned into a non-public online public broadcasting network whose mandate is to educate, inform and entertain Gambians both home and abroad.
According to her, GTTV is committed to training young Gambians for sustainable livelihood. Speaking on behalf of our fellow graduates, Ida Kebe praised GTTV for the training opportunity. She, however, appealed to government to help her and colleagues for a start. These young people said they are now poised to explore the job market in their respective trade and contribute to national development. For GRTS News, this is Yero Jalo reporting.
Now, the continent's most respected CEOs Awards Committee has appointed Mr. Pap Sen to serve as advisory board member to the African Awards schemes. A letter sent to the veteran journalist and media boss reads, "Our decision to invite you to take up this position derives from our acknowledgement and appreciation of your extraordinary professionalism, extensive skills, vast experience, and your exemplary personal integrity and commitment to good business ethics and corporate governance practices. As an advisory board member of the African Awards schemes, Mr. Sen is required to make crucial input into the procedures, processes, and consequent decisions involved in the design and implementation of the Awards Committee and various Pan-African Awards schemes, which form the flagship events conducted all over the continent." Well, let's take a look at his interview. Now let's discuss this achievement with Mr. Pap Sen, who now joins us this evening in our studios. Good evening, Mr. Sen, and congratulations
Thank you very much,
on this latest award.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Marianne. Good evening, Minnie.
Good evening, sir.
I'm happy, elated for the nomination, for the appointment.
Right. Like I said, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And what is your reaction to this latest appointment?
Well elated, overwhelmed. It's a plus not only for Pap Sen, but for the nation. I was very happy when I received the letter yesterday for my appointment as advisory member of the board, which is a plus not only in the media fraternity, but also for the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Sen, you have won many awards as a journalist and social advocate, and it is crucial, we know this, to constantly recognize outstanding works and achievements in the country's media scene. Now, take us through the African Awards Games and its role in celebrating talent and youth undertakings in Africa.
As you know, last year I was awarded the most outstanding media personnel in the continent through votes.
Right.
You know, we are 5 shortlisted from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa, plus Gambia. So I was emerging the winner through votes of the public, through WhatsApp, through email. People send names and give reasons whom they think will be eligible to be the most outstanding. Among all my colleagues of the continent, I was emerging the winner because of my long experience and exposure in the media fraternity. If you could remember, I was World Press Freedom Hero by the International Press Institute, IPI, and also Man of the Year by the Black American Association, with a group of 50 states in 2019, and also the magazine from Ghana, Executive Magazine of Ghana, also through their launching, named me African Most Outstanding Media Personnel.
Right.
Now, Mr. Sen, how much has this award, inspired growth over the years?
Well, I thank God because I have sacrificed a lot for press freedom. During the last regime, if you could remember, I was jailed, I was arrested many times, but I have faith, commitment, dedication to continue my job for the past 52 years. You know, I did both electronic and print media. I represent Reuters, and I'm their correspondent, the longest serving correspondent in Africa, 46 years now. Thank God for that.
Good. Now, and of course, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, you are required to be involved in regular meetings and engagements.
Yes.
Alongside the work you do.
Yes.
Are you really ready for this challenge?
Yeah, it's a big challenge because at the point I have efficient team. I trust my staff and my partner Baba Hydra and the other staff who will for sure will do their best to make sure everything will be all right during my absence. I have an excellent and committed staff of the point.
Now let's discuss. That was Mr. Pap Sen speaking to us earlier in our studios. Now this is GRTS News. Up next is sports. Welcome back. Now, the National Schools Athletics Championship has kicked off at the Independence Stadium, where schools from across the country converge to compete in different track and field events. Now, day one saw some intriguing races in the 100 and 200 meters, among other middle distance events. Now, hundreds of students turned up at the stadium to cheer behind their respective schools. Famara Baji has more.
This championship comes with a lot of excitement, massive crowds and unstopping ambience, as hundreds of jubilant supporters turn up to cheer behind their respective schools. On the tracks, it was a battle between different junior and senior schools, competing in different events. Field events such as long jump and shot put were also in contention on the sidelines. Day one witnessed some intriguing and keenly contested races in the 100 and 200 meters events. Some athletes showed immense energy and brilliance in outstanding performances, paying off with victory on the tracks after training hard for the day.
No, it's not a tough race for me because I know I can beat them. I go with confidence. I'm 100% sure I can defeat them easily, and I don't feel tired that much.
You have 2 more days to go. Tomorrow you will be having some events, probably in the final day. I mean, how will you be approaching those events?
I will prepare like today, how I do it. And tomorrow, inshallah, I will take first off for all my events.
I train for it many times. I'm training for only 1,005. I'm having only 1,005. I win it on the hit and win it here at the gold.
So you mean you are better than the rest of the athletes?
Yes, I'm better than them, of course, because I win it.
This year's championship is being competed without defending champions Bottrop and some strong competitors like Scan Aid, New Covenant and Newsrod, all of whom are suspended for rule violations. This means a shift in power as the title could sway in another direction, with Latukunda Sabiji Upper Basic School and Bakote Senior Secondary School putting up dominant displays on day 1 of the athletics championship. Farmer Abaji, GRTS News.
Now from sports, we shift our attention to internationals. Now, European Union leaders have refused Ukraine's appeal for rapid accession to the bloc. At a meeting in Versailles, the EU also revealed its deadline for freeing itself from independence on Russian soil and gas. The World Health Organization has advised Ukraine to destroy high-threat pathogens stored in the country's public health laboratories. In a statement to Reuters, the WHO said this could prevent any potential spills that would spread disease among the population. Ukraine has public health labs researching how to mitigate the threats of dangerous diseases. The WHO said it encourages all parties to cooperate in the safe and secure disposal of any pathogens they come across and to reach out for technical assistance as needed. Now, Friday, March 11 marked exactly 2 years since the WHO declared a global COVID pandemic. Over 6 million people around the world died from COVID-19, with almost 500 million infections and countless lives ended in 2 years of the pandemic, which impacted every part of the whole world. Cases are declining at the moment, but public health officials say the crisis is far from over. Now you're watching GRTS News live from Banjul. A quick look at our top stories once again. Nominations for the April 9th legislative vote continues in all regions across the Gambia, with more independent candidates joining the race for the National Assembly. Preparing youth for the job market. The Gambia Talent Promotion Television, GTTV, has graduated its first trained cohort of media students. In sports, the National School Athletics Championship has kicked off at the Independence Stadium, with schools from across the country competing in different tracks and field events. On the international scene, united on Ukraine, European Union leaders are backing Kiev, but have refused Ukraine's appeal for fast-track membership to the EU bloc. And the World Health Organization advises Ukraine to destroy high-threat pathogens stored in the country's public health laboratories. Well, that's all in this news edition, and thank you for watching GRTS TV, and enjoy the rest of our programs. From the entire news team, we say many thanks for listening, and do stay safe. It's good night from us.
I am honored to introduce a brand new show to you, of course, called Dining with the Chef.
Hi, Chef.
Hey, I've done the Nando's. I'm sure you'll be like, yes, that's the Nando's style.
So we have pink lemonade and we have strawberry lemonade as well. The fresh juice, of course, made here at the Smile Lounge.
From the waters to the table, onto the stove, to our stomachs. So it's all about the fish today, right?